All right, what's going on, Bulls Nation? Another big win for the Bulls, so we'll take a look at this game right after this.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So, man, what a big game for the Bulls. I was expecting a little bit of drop-offs. That's how the Bulls are, mainly, inconsistent. Had a big win against Boston, then gonna cuff it up against, a team like Indiana. But I was proven wrong. They came out, took the lead right away, came out hot. Did give it up a little bit on the third quarter. However, they remained their composure and got the win. So that's showing signs of maturity there for the Bulls. I guess that's the cohesiveness that the front office is looking for. But, let's talk about the positives. Their defense is actually getting a lot better. It's not perfect. There's some defensive lapses, especially on this game. I noticed with DeMar. He's like floating around, not knowing where to go or just being lazy. But Zach played awesome defense. Patrick Williams showed signs of life in this game. Some aggressiveness, the defensive tenacity that we're asking him to do. Because if he can ramp it up, he is a good defender, one-on-one. But as a team defender, sometimes, he gets lost. But as a one-on-one lockdown defender, you can, I wouldn't say lockdown, but he could hold his own. And with the three offensive players that we have, we will rely on the other guys like Ayo and Patrick. But overall, the team, man, even Vooch. Actually, I got nothing bad to say about Vooch for this season at all. He's playing his tail off. Nothing but positives on Vooch here. DeMar, has always been DeMar, slipping on defense a little bit, but Ayo has been sensational as well. Outside of one game that he was kind of timid, but I like what I'm seeing from the Bulls right now. And, stats, Ayo had 12, DeMar 17, Zach. Finally a good game from Zach. We all got worried about his, kind of injury in the beginning of the season, but he's slowly getting his pace back. Patrick Williams, only 15 minutes, but 10 points. Caruso was, shooting from beyond the arc as well. Drummond, I like the fact that we have like a backup center that's actually a backup right now. Goran Dragic. I don't know what to say with this guy, man. What a pickup. And didn't I said this last year that we need some stability on the point guard position? And boy, has Dragic provided that. He comes in and calms everyone down. Like, he comes in and everything stabilizes. He'll shoot threes. He'll get his own. 13 points, 16 minutes, 5 assists. And his baskets are timely. When Pacers are making a run, that's when he's going to hit the dagger three. When they are slowly coming back, he'll make the right play. He'll make the right pass. Or he'll throw a lob that would just energize the crowd and the players. So everything, that's the experience of Dragic that he brings into the table. And honestly, he's a lot better defensively than I thought he was. I thought people, bigger guards are just gonna run over him, but no, that's not the case. He's a good help defender. He knows the game very well. Just very smart guy. So I'm just glad that we picked up Dragic. I know a lot of people were like, another guard, and this is exactly why. This is exactly why we had him. Kobe White, 6 points, not a good game per se, but also Derrick Jones Jr. 10 minutes, no score out there. But it's okay. It is okay. They didn't need to. And to be honest, I think the biggest difference so far, I know it's very early in the season, is the pickup of these guys. Like, we do have a bench that when they come in, not only do they, maintain the game if you have a lead, but for the most part, they put you back in the game. This is like bench mob 2.0. But Dragic is a legit player, though. He was a starter in the league. He was a former All-Star. Same with Drummond, and Drummond's still relatively young. He could start in other teams as well, but we're lucky to have him as a backup to Vooch, a big guy that can Drummond just just inhales rebound at this point to give you that toughness inside. Although he's not the defensive player that you want him to be, but his presence, his big body, his to make sure that the other team is not going to get an offensive rebound, regardless if you're kind of shorter on the power forward position, kind of negates that, because he is that driving force in the middle that just, again, inhales rebound for you. So I'm so glad we have him. I think they're the difference in this game. You know, their presence itself, the calming manner that they bring to the table. It's just different. It is different. It's a different Bulls. I love what I'm seeing. I love this. You know, I love the defensive intensity at times. It's more often than not that you see them defending, because back then it's only a play or two last year. It was like, oh, that's a pretty good defensive sequence. But now there's a lot more that you can point your finger to. It's like, oh man, the rotation was pretty tight. You know, the one-on-one defense, everything now, you know, I think a few more games and, you know, we're going to click even more. You know, this is the, what were they calling it? Arturo's was just like, you know, being familiar with each other. That's, I think it's paying off right now. I guess the biggest question is, you know, we still have Lonzo. When Lonzo comes back, our bench is going to be deeper because Ayo's going to come off the bench. Somebody's going to be relegated, you know, not playing, and I'm assuming that will be Kobe. And then at that time, you know, we'll see what happens, because right now in the power forward committee, they're doing pretty okay, you know, between Williams, Javante, who's just a ball of energy, and Derrick Jones Jr. So far, we haven't met those big teams, you know, the Philadelphia, the other teams as well, you know, the Dallas. Now I wouldn't say Dallas is a big team, but Milwaukee, you know, the teams of that nature, or maybe somebody like Brooklyn. But so far, you know, not every team has a dominant big guy. So far, I like what I'm seeing. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about our Bulls. Are you excited about this team, or you still have, you know, reservations about because of how we construct a roster? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video on Friday.